We all grow up looking for somebody to believe in. For me, it was my father. He was my hero. The day after my 12th birthday, I found out my father killed people for a living. When I saw my father shot dead outside of our house, I remember thinking, he probably deserved it.
He left the mean streets
Joey!
for a distant war. Until one wrong move.
You assault an MP and you steal the Colonel's Jeep. Now, you want to be a good citizen, help us out here?
What exactly do you want me to do?
Put him back in the family business.
You gotta wear a wire.
Your friends and family.
Friends and family.
Joey has to meet Reggio, and you gotta get yourself invited.
So we're taking the meat, we're committing suicide.
You should take the meat.
So let's talk business.
Hey, one thing, I don't work with someone like that.
You have a problem? We'll fix it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Whitey the White Guy Show. I'm Whitey, and today I'm going to review the film 10th and Wolf. 10th and Wolf came out in 2006, and it stars Giovanni Ribisi, James Marsden, Brad Renfro, Brian Dennehy, Dennis Hopper, to name just a handful of a very good cast. And the film is it's an Italian mob film, but instead of taking place in kind of the heyday of the Italian mob, it takes place really in the twilight, in the 80s, mostly in the 80s and then the very early 90s. It's a film with a flashback back to 85, but the current story is taking place, I believe, right after Gulf War I. And James Marsden and Brad Renfro are brothers. Giovanni Ribisi is their cousin, and they're related somehow, I forget how exactly, to Dennis Hopper, who's, knew their fathers. Their fathers were big timers in the mob, and they grew up together as kids, and now as they're adults, Dennis Hopper's kind of misguiding them in the wrong direction. Giovanni Ribisi, his dad, gets killed. Dennis Hopper gives him information as to who done it. He goes to go kill the guy. James Marsden tries to stop him, and as he's trying to stop him from killing the guy, he gets shot. James Marsden, that is, gets shot in the abdomen, ends up going into the Marines. Gulf War I happens. James Marsden gets in trouble with some MPs. He hits an MP in the face because he got drunk and went to go kill Saddam Hussein after the Clinton administration brokered a deal to let Saddam Hussein go. And now James Marsden is approached by Brian Dennehy and Leo Rossi, who are, I believe, federal agents, and they're saying, I want you, they want him to go and rat on his family and expose this drug ring that Giovanni Ribisi is getting into. Unbeknownst to James Marsden, however, Brad Renfro, his younger brother, who's a little bit special, didn't graduate to 5th grade there, has been pulled in by Giovanni Ribisi into the mob action that he's got going on. A war ensues between two mob families. They're caught up in the middle of all this, and then Brian Dennehy and Leo Rossi are kind of villainous. It's been done. It's not the most original film. We've seen it before. James Marsden has a loyalty, of course, to his family, but is trying to do the right thing. If they go after Giovanni Ribisi and get him in trouble, he's the guy that the feds want. They'll let his little brother walk, but then there's crosses and double crosses, and oh my goodness, look out. It's a theme that's been done, but I will say this for 10th and Wolf, here it is done well. It's a very enjoyable film, very solid cast. Giovanni Ribisi is one of my favorites, so anything with him in it, I'm on board. But it's written very well, written very crisp. It's not a big, huge epic of a film, but it's just a good film. We don't have a rating system on this show exactly, but I'd say it's a B+. It's a solid B+ of a film, and very, very entertaining. There's some violence in here. There's not big, huge shootouts. Nobody's sitting there with an M203 at the end of the film going, say hello to my little friend, and then blow shit up. But there is a big shootout at the end, plenty of violence, but really the strength is in the writing. The strength is in the writing and the performance by the cast. These three family members, Giovanni Ribisi, James Marsden, Brad Renfro, very likable as you follow them around, especially James Marsden and Giovanni Ribisi. They have there's that loyalty there, but Giovanni Ribisi begins to suspect that something's up with James Marsden, and they're torn between their loyalty to one another and the circumstances that they just kind of found themselves in. Brad Renfro plays a very sympathetic character. Sadly, he dies in real life not too long after this, and it's too bad because it's an excellent performance by him. He does a very good job. It's one of those things where I think he had been out of the game for a while, and then he gives this performance. Go, wow, he's going to come back and beat him, and then he overdosed, unfortunately, and died. But James Marsden was just kind of coming up. I think this is one of his early projects. It may be one of his the first lead role that he was in, and he does a very good job. Giovanni Ribisi, of course, is excellent. Brian Dennehy, Dennis Hopper, Leo Rossi, they come in as the veteran actors, and again, excellent cast. They all do a very good job. Very good film. It's just not epic. It just lacks that epic Scarface or Casino or Goodfellas. It's not quite epic, but it is still very entertaining. It's still a very good film. I highly recommend it. Go check it out. There's not a whole lot more I can add to it. You know, it's an Italian mob film. You got some shoot 'em up. You got some love interests or some titties and hand grenades. It's pretty titties and hand grenades. Here, 10th the Wolf. So that's it from the Whitey the White Guy Show. I'm Whitey. So thanks for watching and good journey.